Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Frantic phone calls, waiting and screaming. What happened here? Meghan, have you guys gotten bored with that woman's fake face yet? I personally hate that woman's face, always showing a face of deep hypocrisy and cruelty. Meghan's nature is to shout. She is always irritable and chaotic, and her mind is unstable. Not stop there. This must have been really shameless, because, as the Duchess of Sussex loves to characterize herself, she is an icon, and people flock to her and practically ask for an audience with her. And it's fascinating to see how her act has evolved over the years. The way she pats people on the back and all that. But at first, no, I don't want people to curse you to me. Titles don't mean anything. And she nearly burst into tears when she couldn't get titles for her children, even though they mean nothing to her. But here's what really develops as stories emerge from their recent trip to Nigeria on that fake royal tour, where they were literally billed as Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, blaming it on a variety of issues such as, they don't necessarily know the protocol given the fact that they have a team over, and nobody is being instructed on exactly what happens. When you go on a tour, don't you contact those individuals to ensure that these faux pas don't occur? Of course. They enjoy it when people refer to them as their Royal Highness, and it definitely works in her favor. But what's fascinating about that particular trip and what we found out recently is that Meghan, of course, doesn't want to return over here to the United Kingdom because according to Harry, it's terribly unsafe. And I know we can go on about all the things she's been to. She's just a laughingstock in that respect, because when you go halfway around the world and all that sort of thing, how unsafe is London as opposed to that? Anywhere any big city in the world is? What's interesting here is that when she decided to brave it in the luxury of the aptly named Windsor suite at Heathrow Airport while catching a flight over to Nigeria, this happened. Let me explain. What they can say is, "Hello, how are you? Are you all right? Thank you so much. There are beautiful leaves here, aren't they? Yes, I'm sure you agree." What's fascinating about this story is that it was initially reported by a well-placed source at Heathrow that this was essentially just an intersperse visit, where you would wait in the executive lounge for 40 minutes and Harry would then meet with them before getting on the plane. Meghan managed to spend 3.5 hours inside the opulence of the Windsor suite. It is a pricey room that you must rent, and everything was curtained off. She had private catering and personnel to look after her rights. But what's interesting is that in the 3.5 hours, according to that source, she genuinely thought that Prince William or a senior member of the basically to see how she was and if there was anything they could do, but more importantly that she hoped that she could broker some deal to, put the repaired relationship back together. According to one person, she kept texting or attempting to contact Harry, who was in the center of London at a charity event, to see how things were going. Now one can only imagine how terrified he must have been by his failure to deliver exactly what Madame wanted. It must have been very difficult, and that is exactly what happened on that day. What I find fascinating about that in particular is that if you push it a little bit further, who genuinely believes that, of course, our wonderful British monarchy is going to zip all the way out to the estate? The very plush, even though it is named after them. How deluded do you really need to be? That's how far Meghan Markle has gotten. I believe you will find this fascinating. To put it bluntly, Meghan and her husband are a disgrace to humanity. If anyone agrees with my statement, please comment number 1. Based on what we know about Meghan, you don't think I'm exaggerating, right? Harry is no exception. He's not as scheming as Meghan, but he listens to Meghan very much. Or rather, Harry is the henchman who carries out Meghan's schemes. And of course, he will never think Meghan is wrong because, in fact, Harry has been brainwashed by Meghan. Do you think that both should be locked up for public security? Their relentless pursuit of attention and disregard for the well-being of those around them pose a threat to societal norms and stability. Meghan's explosive temper and Harry's incessant airing of family grievances have sown discord and division, undermining the very fabric of the communities they engage with. Their actions, driven by a relentless quest for personal gain and media spectacle, demonstrate a blatant disrespect for public trust and harmony. The trip to Nigeria is a clear proof. It's best for them to stay at home and repent, not go out to affect social order. Meghan better remember not to expect anything from this world. In the eyes of others, she is just a walking corpse. Meghan can wait forever. No one wants to check on her. No one wants to visit her. No one wants to ask if she's okay, until Meghan learns to care about someone other than herself. Which, of course, will never happen. She shouldn't expect anyone to care about her. Her reputation for self-absorption and manipulative behavior has left a trail of damaged relationships and shattered trust. Her inability to foster genuine connections, preferring instead to use people as stepping stones for her own gain, has not gone unnoticed. Those who once stood by her have slowly distanced themselves, tired of the constant drama and emotional manipulation. Meghan's relentless pursuit of titles and status, all while claiming they mean nothing to her, reveals a hypocrisy that is hard to ignore. Her tears over her children's lack of royal titles, despite her public denouncement of such honors, further highlight her insincerity. Furthermore, her refusal to return to the United Kingdom, citing safety concerns, while gallivanting around the globe, exposes the absurdity of her claims. How can one argue that London is less safe than any other major city in the world? She is disrespecting the British people, the royal family, and the United Kingdom. Even if she had a gun pointed at her head, it wouldn't be too much. She absolutely deserved it. Even her husband, Harry, is not immune to the fallout of her behavior. His constant attempts to placate her and meet her impossible demands have left him a shadow of his former self. His public grievances against his family, spurred on by Meghan's influence, have only deepened the rift and painted him as a pawn in her relentless quest for attention and sympathy. Maybe he needs vitamin A to improve his eyesight. So stupid. Of course, we don't need to be too hasty. Every action has a price, and if it's not money, then it's life. Oh well, what Meghan wants, Meghan does not get. Poetic justice. Meghan proved to be forgettable. Now let the rest of the world show her how unremarkable she really is. The self-styled Duchess of Sussex, who once believed she could bend the world to her will with a flick of her royal title, has found herself adrift in a sea of irrelevance. So satisfying, one can see how swiftly her grandiose ambitions have crumbled, leaving behind nothing but a faint echo of her once inflated self-importance. I told you so. Trust me. Besides, old Meghan just doesn't get it and is so self-absorbed she probably never will. The royal family has washed their hands of her. She is not important in even the smallest way. None of the family wants to see or talk to her. She is poison. She does not exist to them. Clearly, Meghan's self-absorption is legendary. She struts around with an air of misplaced grandeur, believing she still holds some sway over the hearts and minds of those she left behind. But the truth is stark. She is irrelevant. Her importance has dwindled to nothing, a mere footnote in the annals of royal history. The family she once sought to command with her whims and fancies now sees her for what she truly is. A toxic presence better left in the past. It's telling that none of the royals want anything to do with her. Not a visit, not a phone call, not even a passing mention. She is a ghost in their lives. A reminder of a turbulent chapter they've all agreed to close. Her attempts to insert herself back into their world are met with cold silence. A clear indication that her presence is neither needed nor wanted. Wise up, Meghan. After all, she is nothing thanks to her own actions. She brought herself down and humiliated herself in front of the world. Meghan went to Nigeria to prove to the world she was a queen. A drama queen, certainly. This woman will never be royal. The fact that she thinks the royal family owes her anything is beyond comprehension. Deluded? Oh yes. This one is completely deluded to think anyone cares about what she wants or thinks, after all she has said and done. Of course, I don't like feeling like I do about her, but she is despicable and deserves none of my respect. For gosh sake, take away those titles from all of them, wish them well, and let them go their miserable way. Not that they will, as it appears they are holding on to those titles for dear life, and also their connection to being a royal. I am just flabbergasted that this circus, this drama, this freak show has been allowed to go on this long. I know she always wanted to be #1, and she is #1 on the most hated person list. Plus, as a couple, Meghan and Harry are #1 on the most hated couples list. Nowhere else for the duo to go. What's even funnier is she thinks that she can help repair Harry's relationship with his family, but is completely incapable of trying to repair the relationship with her own father. She's only interested in helping her brand. She is delusional as hell. Maybe Meghan wants to reconnect with the royal family so desperately. It's so pathetic. She knows she made a colossal mistake because she thought of herself a lot more than she really is. Why does she not make an effort to make up with her father, who is eager to see her? Royals moved on from Harry and Meghan and accepted it. Exactly. Even when she was with the royal family and receiving IPP, she thought she was more important than the others and had the area at Wimbledon cleared around her in figure when blacks came out to see her. She left saying she needed more security. That was before she was 43%. It's okay. Everything is going according to its orbit. Good people are still loved and mean people are still being boycotted. One fact that will never change is the hatred of the public around the world for the couple Harry and Meghan. You will not be alone because I am also an anti-fan of these narcissists. Thank you for watching my video. Do not hesitate to share your thoughts about this couple in the comments. I always appreciate and acknowledge all your contributions. Please support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Now, goodbye and see you again.